Good evening, friends. Welcome to the 10th Friday in the 15th Friday of Gut Health in this series. Only have 5 left on this little chart here that I started toward the end of December. And tonight I am not sitting very ladylike. I wanted to try something different. See if sitting on this yoga ball rather than on my flat bed eliminates the problem that I have with acid reflux and indigestion when I try to speak, and I don't want to keep saying, "Oh, beg your pardon, excuse me," and such. So just bear with me while I sit here very casual, like, kind of like a frog. um, I don't have any notes for this one because I have confidence in. Let me just mute my phone. I have confidence in this subject because it is to be your own best advocate. And that is something that I actually even had a conversation with a friend of mine about last night because we were talking about mental health and things like SSRIs. And if you want to go back and watch that one, we did have the 2 weeks ago now, the mental health connections. Everything is up on my YouTube. Feel free to go binge and catch up with them. These are a lot of fun to do. But when it comes to being your own biggest advocate, if I may bring it up, something that she was telling me is that um, the people that she works with, the professionals, they try to push medication on them. And I had to remind her that although they are helping you by doing a service and they're treating you and taking care of you, you are the boss of your own body. You get to tell them, hey, I don't want to do this, or I don't feel comfortable with this. I would like to go a different route than you had planned. And for the most part, I'm an advocate for not needing medication for every little thing because I have gut health and everything. If you address the root of your issues through gut health, blood sugar balance, and inflammation, everything can be healed rather than treated like a medical issue, even medical issues. And we've done a lot of videos about those. Anything going from blood sugar balance and insulin resistance to where your energy comes from, which is food and the things that you consume, and all sorts of things down the line that are connected. And there's even a connection to pain when it comes to your gut health. And pardon me, I live on a busy road if you can hear the background. And I'm getting indigestion, so I guess it doesn't matter where I sit, but I'm not going to get up now. So when it comes to being your own biggest advocate, that does take a little bit of hard work, especially if you are new to the whole idea. And by that, I mean, instead of just going to the doctor's office and taking their word for it and going to the pharmacy and picking up the prescription that they gave you afterward and taking that and just shutting your mouth and doing everything you're told, there's more to it than that when it comes to healing your body and healing your gut and focusing on your health and even things like personal growth and development um, in collaboration with dealing with your gut health and obviously drinking plenty of water and getting proper exercise, eating well, everything going together and, kind of works as a team for your body. So are you're a big team of one and you have a lot of little jobs to do, but they all end up benefiting your body and your mind and your health in one way, shape, or another. And they all link together because everything is pretty much rooted in the same thing. If you were a tree, your gut health is the root. And then, some of your branches is your mental health, some of your branches is your dietary needs, some of it is your needs for exercise and your need for drinking plenty of water. All these sorts of things, everything can be traced back to the root. And that is why I say be your own biggest advocate. And it's not like you can learn everything off of a simple Google search. It does take a little bit of in-depth reading when it comes to learning about your health and your wellness. But that is always a good place to start, especially now that they have like this AI kind of summary, which is a new thing. I don't know if they'll still have it years down the road, but at the time of this video, if you just want like a quick, what is it that we called it when we were in school like 15 or plus 20 years ago. Um, little spark notes at the bottom. So that's what like the AI just like generates things from across the web and gives you the general overview of what things are. And then I would always encourage you to go dive deeper into this because it might bring up terminology and aspects of things that need a little bit more digging into. And no, you don't need to be like some scholarly person. You don't need to be Albert Einstein or Aristotle or anything like that to learn about your health. You can be the average person, the average Joe, or the average Jane, and you just have a passion for making sure you feel your best every single day of your life so you can perform at your best, whether that be at your job or taking care of your children, or if that is your job, and also if you volunteer and you help other people, or if you are a part of a large community, like maybe say at like church, or you're really involved in your gym, but you feel like you're not getting results, because I've been there before. I did the gym for, I want to say, 4 to 5 years. Didn't see much results, much of a difference, because I wasn't changing my diet. I wasn't addressing my gut health. I was still on medication, all the sorts of things. I did drink plenty of water, but I wasn't absorbing nutrients because my body was unhealthy, and I wasn't getting healthy muscle tone because my diet was unhealthy. And I was, eating sugars, and I was eating late at night and going to fast food and not doing anything to take good care of myself. And I don't want to see that happen to people. Like sometimes they get into this mindset where they're just like, well, oh, well, I'm having fun and this is just like, I understand that. However, you're cutting yourself short on all these opportunities life can have for you. Excuse the indigestion. I haven't eaten in hours. When you do start taking care of yourself, it opens doors to other possibilities. So, not only, if I may use my own story again, working out and stuff, that was a big deal to me. And that's where I started with working on my gut health. I wanted things that would benefit my workouts greatly and help them to harvest results out of it all the hard work. And through what I use and the products that I started with, when it comes to our gut healthy products, I started to see greater results. I started to gain more confidence. I slept better. I instinctively started to want to eat better because now that you're kind of chiseling away at the inflammation on your body, on the unhealthy fat, and the loose wiggliness on your body that you have prior to being toned and fit and tightened up from immense physical activity. And I mean immense. Like I went really, really hard in my first 3 or 4 months, and just doing that catapulted me into a greater self-confidence, greater um, self-assuredness that like, hey, these things do work and they do make a huge difference. But it also, in a way, kind of isolated me from the circle that I was a part of back then, the circle of friends and the people that I had associated with, because all of a sudden I'm changing and I'm growing in what I know about my body and changing the way my body looks, and my sleep would change. So therefore my idea of socialization would change. Instead of wanting to hang out all night long and sit around a bonfire, I wanted to go home, get a good night's sleep, and read in the book study book, because at the time we were also on the team of women that I joined. We were doing a really good book study and I was learning a lot. And my brain was just like, tell me more, give me more. I was getting really hooked on all these healthy things. And it really started to open up a lot of new doors. I started to say, you know what? Maybe we're not stuck in the same kind of loop in our entire life. You put a monkey, like a small wrench, almost said a monkey wrench, but you just put a small wrench in a large cog, still stop the cog and change the direction and change how things are going. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your starting weight. It doesn't matter your length or your color, or your hair, or if you wear glasses or if you don't wear glasses. Nothing really prior was I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I'm just saying nothing you've done prior to wanting to make a change will matter when it comes to the change that you can make. The only limiting factor is what goes on between your ears. So that's how I started to advocate more for my health. Like I made more healthy choices by making more healthy choices by making more healthy choices. And it all stemmed from the one decision to start taking better care of my gut health because, you know, when you do so much and you spend so much time going to the gym and you're learning and you do instructional classes like I had, like there was several people, like 20-ish people or more in a class at a time and one instructor, and you pay for the class or you pay for the month or the year, however you pay for your gym, and you're not getting anything out of it. You feel like you're just flushing the money down the toilet, right? So I said, no more. I don't want to just flush the money down the toilet. That's why I decided to invest in my gut health, and it was the greatest investment I had ever made in my life. And then, right in the early stages of my whole experience, the world shut down, the gym closed, like the mall closed, everything kind of just closed down, and I had to be stuck in my house. But guess what? I was already established in my head with a healthy routine. I kept doing my workouts. I made sure that, if I didn't have weights, I would lift gallons of water because they're at least 8 pounds. And if I was like, yeah, they're not the 25 pounds that I had been curling at the time. Like, I do that right now with this big guy right here. But an 8 pound gallon of water is not the exact same, but it's better than nothing. And it was able to keep going for some time. And it made a huge difference. So even when all my healthy outlets were closed down, I still had my online access to all the women that I love to work with, and I still do. And it's still one of the most amazing communities I've ever found in my lifetime. And dare I say, I love my church. I love my church friends. I love the people I've met there. But when it comes to building really healthy, beneficial habits for life, there's really nothing like what I have found with our gut health community. The support, the not just support, but like being able to troubleshoot and work with people who are like-minded and thinking along the lines like they want to make their health better too. They want to make healthier choices too. They want to help other people and help other people. And it is the most giving and most uplifting community I've ever found. So if you feel like you're lacking in being able to be your own biggest advocate, you go around other people who know what the heck they're talking about. And you absorb and you be a sponge and you learn and you grow and you get be willing to be uncomfortable and get out of your comfort zone and um kind of even surprise yourself with the things that you're willing to absorb first of all, and then surprise yourself with the things that you are willing to grow in. Say, I'd love to do something like that, but I'm kind of shy. Are you shy or is that insecure? Because I'm a quiet person. Short story, I had to deal with like one of those liability things for a school bus. Uh, get like a a fine or something in the mail if you pass a stopping school bus, and even if the school bus hadn't completely stopped, it's throwing its sign out. There's no way for them to gauge if the bus driver was doing their duties properly. In this case, the bus driver wasn't, and I was willing to speak for myself. But the judge said, "You are very soft spoken, aren't you?" I was like, "Yes, I am soft spoken, but it doesn't mean I don't have a lot of good things to say." And being soft spoken and being called shy and being kind of timid and reserved my entire life, I'm still willing to do videos like this. And I even do videos on Facebook Live. I didn't do any for the past couple weeks because I just kind of been feeling over it with being pregnant. If you can believe that, it's quite a weight. It's heavier than all the weights that I have to lift right now. But being soft spoken and being called shy and being an introvert doesn't mean you cannot speak for yourself. And it doesn't mean that you don't have valuable opinions to share. And that's what I've learned from other introverted people who've become leaders in our gut health community and people that at large you would say, well, they're not really an extroverted person. They're not like the one who enters the room and is the life of the party right away, but they are someone who has a lot of wisdom. And I've learned from a lot of people who have a lot of wisdom that they are very reserved in when and how they share it. And that's the whole difference between being extra shy or if you're just kind of insecure and you don't really see what you are capable of. And that is another reason I love this community. Not only to teach me how to become a big advocate for myself, but they taught me how to use my voice and they made me realize that I had a lot that I could say and a lot that I could share with other people in order to benefit their lives. Like talking about this type of stuff and saying, you know what, it didn't start off easy. I didn't start off even going back to when I started doing the gym. That's when I was the most timid, and I started doing the gym because I hurt my shoulder at a job. So I'd sit in the back of the room and I wouldn't say anything. I would just do my workout quietly and then mosey out the door with my mom because she brought me. And over time, I started to get more comfortable in the environment. They even kind of would engage with each person in the class and get them talking. Get them talking, and myself included. And I said, you know what? Okay, comfortability level is going up. I'm accepted here. This is a welcoming place, just like the gut health community. This is a welcoming place where my voice can be beneficial to other people. And I can also interact with people who are along those same kind of like-mindedness. And I don't mean like-minded as in like an echo chamber. I mean like-minded as in people who want to grow and improve and change in their life. And their story might not look like mine. Like I work with people who have been teachers and people who have been in the nursing field and people who've had 7 kids. You know, this is my first. Or people who've had 4 kids, or people who have massive amounts of degrees and stuff like this, and the professional speech therapists and music teachers and professional CEO type women, or um, even people who were like me and they just worked retail before this, but they wanted something else to make a difference. And they were just looking for that niche. Everyone had like a different background. So it's not like one big cookie cutter type deal where everyone is kind of a clone of each other. Everyone has their own individual story. And that's another really beautiful thing about communities like this and building your standing, whether that be with us here or if you go and you join a gym and you take a class consistently and you don't just take the class, you take the class seriously and you do all the fitness things that you're supposed to do, of course, but you also decide to open your mouth and talk to other people. Building that community with others is very beneficial in growing yourself. And if you ever struggle with that, there are really good books for that. Like things like Atomic Habits is always a good one that I will always talk about Atomic Habits. But then also How to Win Friends and Influence People is a really old classic book. And I was at the mall with my friend last night and I saw it in like 4 different places at the library. Okay. It is that good of a book. It was written in the early 1900s and it's still used today because the teachings in it are that beneficial. So anything that you want to grow in, any area of life that you want to grow in and change in, bettering your health, bettering your financial standing, bettering your ability to communicate with other people, getting in shape, uh, more in shape, overcoming any kind of adversity or struggle or hardship or, mental health issues like depression, anxiety. Obviously, your first step is going to say, well, excuse my indigestion. I am so sorry. I could wait to have this kid, I swear. What was I saying? Okay, I compose myself because I get talking and then I get the hiccups and it's really actually very painful. I can't wait to have this child. Did I say that already? I can't wait to have this child. Um, But okay, what was I going See, pregnancy brain strike again. And that's okay. It's just a season of life. But what I'm trying to say is, whatever you want to grow in, there are tools to help you grow. There are ways that you can research and learn about this. And especially when it comes to mental health, that's what I'm talking about. Because I want to say this. I see a lot of people saying, well, thought I got the hang of this anxiety thing, but I still overthink. Or I am dealing with anxiety. I just kind of live with it. It's the end all be all. This is how I'm going to be for the rest of my life. Well, you kind of just, I don't want to say you give up, but you just succumb to what you're dealing with right now, which doesn't have to be the case. Okay. I one time had to quit a job because I was having a major panic attack and I was laying flat on the floor and I had to call them and say, I can't come in ever again because it feels like I'm dying. But you're probably wondering how I overcame that. I don't get panic attacks anymore. One, take care of my gut health. Two, I have a healthy workout routine, even now. Three, I eat well. And four, I decided to not say things like, I am an anxious person. I'm a depressed person. Man, this depression's really eating me right now. I don't know what to do with my problem with overthinking. Well, stop overthinking. Just do. And like how the indigestion just comes up, just do like that. Um, and I'm not trying to preach at anybody. I'm just trying to teach from personal experience. If you hear weird plasticky noises, I am sitting on a yoga ball, in case you forgot. Still didn't help my gut, which my stomach is like right here, okay? It's usually down here, but it's up here, but this is all tight. And that's why I'm very uncomfortable. But I still need to do these videos because they're important. And it's a commitment that I made 2.5 months ago. Or literally like 2 months ago right now. Because this is the 21st of February. And I started the first one on the 20th December. So 2 months worth of commitment. I'm following the pattern of the 12-week year. So I did something for 3 full months. And that is the book for the 12-week year. Where instead of having a 12-month span of a plan, so like you had something like a New Year's resolution, you started off on January 1st, and probably by the middle of March, you fall off because it felt so big or you weren't specific. And I'm going off on a tangent now because I got pregnancy brain, but follow me along, okay? It's beneficial. This is part of being your own biggest advocate. If you want to stop falling off of your routines and off of what you want to do with your life, you want to stop doing that, something like the 12-week year model from that book, and show it to you next week during our next video. I don't really want to go shop my papers and rip it out of my bookshelf and stuff right now. But instead of having 12 months, you shorten it up to 12 weeks, and that's 3 months. And that's about the length of time that people start to forget their resolution that they made getting in January. Maybe they wanted a healthier lifestyle, and maybe it was so vague. So you have to be not so vague. You have to be very specific, and you have to have those SMART goals. Specific, measurable, attainable, uh, measurable. I forgot the acronym for SMART right now because I'm not so smart. I am pregnant. I'm end of term. I think maybe I have 4 weeks left. So let's hope I can finish out this series before I have to go into the hospital, or we're going to be talking in the hospital bathroom. I am that committed. I will talk to you while my child is in the nursery and I'm in the bathroom freshening up. I'm probably going to have to whisper like this so they don't hear me from the nurse's station. um, but that's really all I want to say right now. You have to be intentional. You have to speak for yourself. If you're working with professionals, don't just take their word for it. Whatever they want to prescribe you, look into the side effects. And then also consider if there's a healthy, oh geez, I can taste my lunch. Consider if there is a healthy alternative that benefits your gut health and your overall health, as well as the little issue they want to help you with. Because chances are there is. And if that's something that you struggle with, of course, you can come back to me and I would love to help you go down that path in discovering what you need to do in order to benefit your health in a positive way. So, if I sit here, I can think of more to say, but I think I want to keep this limited to about 30 minutes. Next week, the 28th, we're talking about the importance of water and hydration. And if you don't think drinking water and hydrating is important in the spring, summer, winter, and fall, then you're missing something. If you don't think hydration is important in every season of life, whether you are just living day to day, or you just had surgery, or you just had a child, or you're carrying a child, or you're dealing with a lot of strain from outside sources, or if it's just, like it was just any old day. Okay, water everywhere. There's water everywhere on this earth. We are the blue planet. So, being that we are carbon-based life forms and the water is in abundance on the planet, it means it matters and you need to consume it. And I don't mean water in your coffee. I don't mean water in your tea. I don't mean soda. I really don't even mean juice, but I want to talk about that more next week. Um, the importance of water and hydration cannot go understated. And like I said, uh, tonight's event here was no notes and me just going off and speaking because I didn't want to be overly prepared with talking about being your own biggest advocate. But when it comes to the more scientific kind of topics, I do like to be prepared with my notes. So, out of risk of rambling on and on and on and on all night, I will bid you adieu and thank you for joining me during this. Bye for now.